right, Oval fans? The Oval social media pages have been posting pictures of, like Sharon and Barry about, was it worth it in reference to her, being caught cheating with Kareem, and Barry drives through the pharmacy. But one photo I really want to focus on is, who's more at fault? Is it Sharon or Barry? Now, let me put it this way. At the moment, it's definitely Barry, and even if it turns out things are true, like the money and the bloody knife are connected to Sharon and possibly her ties with Kareem doing more than selling over-the-counter medicine at the pharmacy, drugs and whatnot. I think that from what we've seen so far, I think Sharon has been a loving girlfriend, and I don't condone cheating. I mean, for me, that's like a deal breaker, which is one of the biggest fears. If I ever do get married, I want to get married once, and that's it. The only other time I would get married is if we renewed our vows or something. But if I ever do get married, I hope it's a one and done deal. But however, cheating is one of those things where it's like, that's I'm probably out on that. But when it comes down to it, I also look at the fact that a person can be pushed to that point. It's not always the person who cheats. Yeah, you want to look at them for cheating, but sometimes you got to look at the circumstances and what led to that. Some people are just low down and dirty or will cheat just to cheat, but then you also have to look at the fact that they might be pushed by their partner. Now, I will say this. As far as I can tell, Sharon has been nothing but a good girlfriend, moved in with the family, helping support, because, well, as I've said in other videos, aside from Richard, when he was employed at the White House, and for most of this season he's been fired, and even though he has been told by Sam that he will be getting his job back soon, Donald has yet to make that phone call or set up a meeting to get him back at work. So as of right now, Sharon is the only person in the house. Look, we still don't know what Barry does or if he does anything at all, but basically Sharon was the only one in the house for a majority of this show so far who was actively employed, and she was working at the pharmacy with Kareem. So she was helping with the bills and whatnot, and Miss Nancy was like a support system. They were like support for each other. And then you look at Barry, who, I get it, he's upset about his daughter being abducted and all, but he's been selfish, rude, lashing out instead of being calm, and just anything but a good son, boyfriend, and just a person when you really think about it. I mean, so far in the show, he and Picky have had some relaxed scenes, but even then, he's been uptight about everything and just pissed off. But I get it, like being accused of doing something you didn't by the first family's daughter, having your daughter abducted, lashing out at your mom, which again, that really was mostly her fault. But, like I said in another video, if the highest wanted Callie, then I think at some point she may have been kidnapped regardless of Nancy allowing Ruth to come in there to see her daughter or not. But Nancy definitely did leave the door open, no pun intended, to that being a thing. But something I mentioned in my episode review and whatnot, I think when it comes down to this discussion, it really comes down to this. Sharon is responsible for what Sharon does. True, there might be some other factors that pushed her to cheat and the temptation. I mean, not to mention what you have a girl who killed herself in the house, then you have Barry being an asshole, and then you go to work stressed out, and then you find relief in Kareem. But, hey, she did what she did. However, she was not the one that made Barry drive through the pharmacy entrance. She was not the one who made Kareem get the gun out. She wasn't the one that fought anyone, so the gun went off and hit Richard. So obviously she's stressed about everything. But at the end of the day, Barry was the one that did all that. So I think that in terms of who was more wrong, I'm thinking it was Barry. But don't get me wrong, Sharon is responsible for, allowing things to happen. Sure, Kareem was coming on to her, but at the same time, she gave in. So I'm thinking that Barry is more wrong because Sharon, while cheating, isn't the one who's threatening people's lives, because who's to say how far Barry would have driven the truck through the pharmacy if it didn't get caught, with some of the debris. So, I mean, was he planning to run him over? I don't know. And then he's assaulted Kareem on 2 occasions already. So I think that if anything, these two need to break up, not just because of Sharon's possibly you know, dealing with illegal activity, but also because Barry is anything but a stable person. So I would say Barry's more in the wrong, but that's not to say Sharon hasn't been doing some dirty things as well. I think as the season goes on, we'll find out more about her true colors. But hey, you got to admit, as Picky was saying, he's like, man, everybody in the hood knew she was involved with Kareem in the drug operation, but you were in love, you didn't see it. But it just seems like Sharon has been a good lover and person. Well, when I say lover, I mean more so partner to Barry. But at the end of the day, Barry just hasn't been a good lover to her. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you think is more at fault for what's going on? Like I said, Sharon did cheat, but at the same time, Barry's the one who's being crazy. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out when I post new content. You can support the channel by hitting me up on Cash App or PayPal, or simply joining my Patreon for as little as $1 a month.